Hello my friends, today we're doing something a little different. If you saw my video from last week, you might remember I did a big batch prep with a lot of veggies. And I just want to show you guys how easy it is to make weekday night dinners once that work is done. So I'm actually going to take you along with me through my week of dinners and just show you some easy practical meal ideas that you can make with your prepped veggies. So if you're ready, let's get started. Okay, we are actually starting off with a dish that I have never made before, but I was inspired because I have all these green peppers to use up. And every time my husband and I go to this specific Chinese restaurant, we always get the sweet and sour pork, vegan of course, and it is one of the first dishes that I thought of when I was thinking of how to use up all of these green bell peppers. I feel like I have a lot more creativity and energy to try new things at the beginning of the week, so I thought this would be a good one to start out with. I am a little bit nervous about this because if it doesn't work out, we're not gonna have any dinner for tonight, but I'm following a recipe and I think it should be pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Let's give it a try. First thing we're going to need is our soy curls. Now the original recipe calls for deep frying them, which I'm not going to do, but we still need some kind of vegan chicken or pork replacement. So I'm going to use these soy curls. If you don't have these, you could also use something like tofu, but these are actually super easy to work with. If you've never used them before, let me show you quickly how I like to use them. So they start out like this. They are dry and shelf stable. So first thing we're going to do is rehydrate them. I like to use a little bit of this vegan Better Than Bouillon broth paste in chicken flavor. If you have a ham or pork flavor one, that would work as well. So we just need a teaspoon of that and then enough water to cover the soy curls and just let those sit and rehydrate for about 10 to 15 minutes. And while those are rehydrating, I'm just chopping up an onion and some garlic and making our sweet and sour sauce. For the sauce, we are going to need to reserve a half cup of pineapple juice and then just add some sugar, white vinegar, soy sauce, dark soy sauce, ketchup, water, and cornstarch. So after about 10 to 15 minutes, your soy curls should be fully rehydrated. So you wanna go ahead and drain them. And you can actually use the back of a spoon to press out any excess liquid. And then just start by pan frying the soy curls first. Let those get a little brown and crispy and transfer them to a plate while we stir fry the veggies. And then of course we're going to add in our sauce and just let that thicken for a couple of minutes before finally adding the soy curls back in at the very last minute. And this turned out really well. I actually really like this recipe. I will make some slight adjustments for next time, and I'll leave all those recipe notes in the description box down below. On Tuesday, we had leftovers. This is the soup that I made at the same time as doing the veggie batch prep. So that is exactly why I like to prep at least one meal during a batch prep. Having a soup like this that is prepped and ready to go makes life so much easier on the weekdays. So if you want to see the full step-by-step for this chili, I will link that video down below. We have got some bell pepper and mushrooms still to use up. So for tonight's dinner, I thought we would do a little stir fry with some taco seasoning. I'm also going to cook up some vegan burger patties and we are going to make tacos. Now, if you wanted a little more hands-off approach to this dinner, you could also cook this as a sheet pan. Just put everything on one tray and bake it in the oven at 400. That's a really good option if you just kind of want to get dinner started and not have to stand there and tend to whatever's on the stove. However, that will take a little bit longer and of course you need to turn on your oven. So we're just going to do everything on the stovetop. Now, if you don't want to use a vegan burger patty, you could definitely use tofu or tempeh or beans, or just keep it all veggies if you wanted to. Lots of options with this one. I like to cook the burger patty separately just to save on time. But of course you could do this in one pan if you don't mind waiting for the burger patty to cook first. And we're keeping it very simple with the seasoning, just adding a little bit of garlic powder and chili powder, or you could also use something like taco seasoning. I'm gonna use these flour tortillas because that is what I've got. I also like to use corn sometimes, or you could do whole wheat or any kind of tortilla option that you like. And then adding a little bit of rice to the tortilla, our stir-fried veggies, vegan burger, spicy cashew cream, and some guacamole. These are the quick pickled onions that I made a couple weeks ago. They are super easy. If you've never made them before, I highly recommend trying them out. They add so much flavor to all your dishes. And I also have a step-by-step tutorial on how to make these, so I will link that down below as well. Now I like to fold this up like a little wrap, but of course you could also even fold it into a burrito if that's easier. And this made a bit of leftovers. It actually makes around 3 tacos, so it's a good option if you want to have leftovers for lunch the next day. On Thursday, I was planning to make a peanut noodle bowl using these zucchini noodles, only to find they had been eaten already. So thankfully, I had some carrots in the fridge and I decided just to swap out the zucchini noodles for carrot strips, but you could definitely keep it with zucchini noodles or just use the plain rice noodles, totally up to you. So first, let's get a pot of water boiling on the stove, and then we'll make our peanut sauce. I'm just using a couple tablespoons of PB2, which is powdered peanut butter, some grated ginger, minced garlic, soy sauce, rice vinegar, maple syrup, and water. You can also use regular peanut butter for this recipe. You might just need a little extra water to thin it out. To add a little extra protein, I'm just gonna heat up some of these edamame to add into our noodle bowl. And I'm going to cook the broccoli first because it'll take about 3 or 4 minutes, whereas the noodles will cook very quickly. These rice noodles have been soaked in cold water. We do that first and then store them in the fridge so that they are 100% ready to use. You can just add them into your boiling water and they cook in only about 1 minute. So go ahead and cook them at the same time as your carrots or zucchini noodles. And once they are soft, go ahead and drain them and rinse them with cold water to stop them from cooking further. Then just add on your peanut sauce, give it a quick toss, and you're ready for dinner. It is Friday, the last of our dinners for the week, and we are going to do a simple orzo salad. Now, I have made this recipe before. In fact, if you guys saw the video where I made Caitlin of From My Bowls recipes, I made her simple orzo salad and it was so easy and so delicious. I was like addicted. I made it all summer long. So that is the inspiration behind tonight's dinner, but most importantly, it is gonna help us use up all of that leftover broccoli. Let's get started. We are going to cook everything in one pot for this meal, of course, just starting with the orzo. Let that cook for about 6 minutes first before adding in the broccoli. Now the broccoli on its own here would probably be enough, but I wanted a little veggie variety, and the original recipe uses peas, which I thought was a delicious combo, and I happen to have some frozen peas right now in my freezer, so we're gonna add some of those in there as well, and those just get added in at the very last minute. They only need about 1 minute to defrost and cook. Once your orzo is fully cooked, go ahead and drain everything, and I like to give it a cold rinse just to stop it from cooking further. And then add it back to the pot, and we're going to add some lemon zest, lemon juice, salt, pepper. I added a little bit of veggie broth in there, as well as some red onion and some dried parsley and dried dill. Of course, this full recipe will also be linked in the description box. I absolutely love this salad. It is perfect every time I make it, and this also made enough for leftovers, which was perfect for lunch the next day. Now, if you have been wanting to incorporate some meal prep because you're looking at these dinners like, hey, that is fast and easy, I need that in my life, but maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed by meal prep and you just don't know where to start, well, that is exactly what I teach in my meal prep course, which I'm going to be launching again in October. I would love to have you join us and teach you exactly how to save time and money with meal prep. So if you're interested, make sure you check out the link in the description box or the pinned comment down below. Or if you just want a fast and easy YouTube tutorial on how to get all of this done, I totally get that. This video right here is exactly what I did to prepare for this week of meals. It is the perfect complement to this video, so if you haven't seen that yet, go check it out. And with that, let's eat plants, and I'll see you guys next time.